first. I mean, we'll play the whole thing. When we go back, we'll do the bite. And then I'll check. I'll look around and see if we have to keep doing it or not. Or what. But I'm sure that we have to at least go that far.
Wait, let's do that again.
So the first time through, we're playing the 8 to the short end of it.
Okay.
And then we'll go back to the very beginning. And then we'll take the bite.
Okay. And then short ending?
Yeah.
Gosh, we have a good faculty turnout. It's excellent. Excellent faculty.
Good evening. My name is Mike Bullis. I am the Somerville Knight Professor, and I have the privilege of serving as the Dean of the University of Oregon's College of Education. It is also my honor to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for this, the graduation celebration for the graduating class of 2008. Before proceeding, I'd like to introduce the members of the podium party and our faculty. Dan Close, please stand. Elaine Jones, Surendra Subramani, Margaret Mahoney, Sonia Runberg, Andrea Wiggins, our outstanding alumnus for this year, Judson Taylor, Jason Harder, Rohanna Buchanan, Marty Krauser, and our Associate Dean, Edward Kameanui. And in the spirit of the New England Patriots team, I would like our faculty to stand as a unit and be recognized. College of Education faculty. Now tonight, graduates, we will recognize you individually, but we honor you collectively as a graduating class. Relative to graduation, you are truly unique. This is the second time we have held the event inside in MacArthur Court, which I believe is the oldest basketball arena for a Division I school west of the Rocky Mountains. You also have the distinction of being the very first graduating class based in the construction of what will be our new Headco building and the renovations of our existing historical building. We as a college have recently begun to move into parts of the renovated buildings, and we anticipate that the entire project and the renovations and the final dismissal of the temporary trailers and the old buildings on the corner of Alder Street and 18th will be coming to an end in about a year. I invite you all back to see the completed structures, buildings that will serve as the college's home for the foreseeable future, in which we, and those who will take our places in the years to come, will work to educate those students who will take yours. This evening for me is one of the highlights of the year. The great Roman politician and orator Cincinnatus once said that life's events can be divided into two categories, those of levitas, or fun, and those of gravitas, or seriousness. I believe we structured this celebration to include both fun and seriousness as we, the members of the College of Education faculty and staff, take this opportunity to tell you goodbye and wish you good luck as you leave us and embark on the next phase of your life. Now, I think it's important for you and your families and your friends who are here to understand how impressive it is to graduate from one of the top colleges of education in this country and in the world. I know it's difficult to realize when you are at a university where everyone has a PhD or is working towards some kind of college degree, to realize that it's very rare to have a college degree. Only 25% of our adult workforce in this country own a college degree, a bachelor's degree. Those of you who are earning a master's degree tonight join the top 5% of all educated people in the United States. And those of you who are earning a doctorate are joining the top 1% of all educated people in the entire world. Your achievements are special and eminently worthy of celebration. Now, it's not lost on us that your individual journeys across your tenure in our college have not always been easy, and many of you, perhaps all of you, have received support from your family, loved ones, and friends during your respective academic odysseys. Many of those people are here tonight to enjoy and celebrate this evening with you. I ask you now to turn, find your family and friends, and give them a round of applause for their support and achievements. It is tradition at the first part of this ceremony for the dean to give a brief address to the graduates. And as I thought about what I wanted to talk about, it struck me that my area of academic scholarship, which is studying how students move from one educational setting to the next, what we've come to call transition, is very similar to the transition that you all are experiencing. And I am very aware, having been a college graduate myself and having children of college age now, how fearful the future can be. You are all earning different degrees, BAs, BSs, MAs, MSs, MEDs, DEDs, PhDs, and you are very worried about earning a JOB in addition. In this regard, I want you and your family members to breathe easier. From surveys we've completed of our graduates, and that reminds me, in 1, 3, and 5 years from now, when you receive a survey from me that asks you to comment on your experiences at the college, fill it out and put it in a self-addressed stamped envelope and send it back, okay? Deal? At any rate, we know that within 5 years, 85% of you will be employed in the field of your choice. 10% of you will be enrolled in some kind of ongoing educational program, and 5% will choose not to work because of family obligations. About 70% of undergraduates and master's students stay in state, whereas most PhDs will go out of state and spread to the winds, working nationally and internationally. We also know that the great majority of you will tell us, as you rate on those surveys anyway, that your academic preparation, the way we have trained you, was positive, and that it helped you to engage in your respective careers. So I can tell you with a great deal of certainty that you will be successful in securing employment. But will you be successful in your employment? We've done what we could do to train you for careers, your careers, but is that all there is to have a meaningful and rewarding life? As you will all find, not every system you enter or everyone with whom you work will share your commitment to excellence. One of my former professors drummed into me that to truly succeed in the educational or social science fields, One must have a blazing contempt for mediocrity. What is good enough simply is not good enough for those of you who've made a commitment to be the next generation of educators, social service providers, and academicians. Now, the complicating effort to the system is one that is emerging in Technicolor in recent years, in recent months. The demographics of our country are changing daily, and the very fabric of our society is destined to morph in profound and unknown ways as we as a country and as a world try to grapple with the realities of $4 to $5 a gallon gas and the economic controversy and conflict that brings. Will the 5-day school week continue? Will you be able to drive to your client's home to see them? Will the people with whom you work be able to drive to see you? These are all open questions that will complicate the systems that you have committed yourself to enter. But no matter what happens, there will be some consistencies, things you can count on and trust as you begin your important work to do your very best and to do more than good enough in those pursuits. First, always give each individual with whom you work the very best you have. And through that effort, try to change the incredible power of the bureaucracies that employ you to stay the same. Some parts of any bureaucracy make sense, and other parts simply do not. They exist because they do. I urge you to work to make those unyielding bastions of inflexibility to become more efficient, effective, and better. Better for those people who you have committed to teach and serve. Second, don't be boring. We've given you a good start, but there's much more to learn. Set personal goals to learn new skills regularly and then to seek to apply those skills in your job and your life, daily, monthly, yearly. Come back and take classes with us. Take classes at another university. Take classes through continuing education, through a community college, or try to learn on your own or through a group of colleagues. Third, in your jobs, you will find that you'll be asked to make a number of decisions, many of which will be new to you, and most of which will not have a completely right or wrong answer. Life and the careers you have chosen are often probabilistic adventures where there may not be an absolute correct response to the problems and challenges you face. When seeking to solve a problem, always work to understand that issue as completely as possible. It continually surprises me that the majority of challenges that come to me upon close inspection often are based on an issue that is far different from the way that the situation was first presented. When sizing up the problem, especially one that can become explosive with another person, the best thing you can do is stay calm and take deep breaths. Do not begin to address a professional problem when you are anxious or angry. That emotional mindset will do you absolutely no good. And when you're thinking through the alternatives you have to solve a problem, make sure that you choose a solution that affords you as many possibilities and options as possible. Do not paint yourself in a corner by making a decision that affords you only one, or at the very best, limited alternatives in resolving the presenting issue. Fourth, always try to make decisions and to solve problems in a manner that is as simple as possible. Occam's razor, which is an old saying from 13th century France, not England, and was popularized in the movie Contact, reads, "All other things being equal, the simplest solution is always best." True intelligence and skill rests in developing and implementing solutions to challenges that are based on simplicity, solutions that can actually be carried out in a real world in which you will work and in which you will live. Finally, as you progress over the years, you will find that your career in life will be comprised of a continuing series of routine tasks which will be interrupted by incredible opportunities. Albert Bandura, one of the truly great psychologists of all time, makes the point that people who succeed are those who can identify the opportunities that are presented to them on a day-to-day basis, who can develop a suitable plan to address that potentiality, and who have the wherewithal to then act on that option. My best friend's father, who did not graduate from college and who was probably one of the smartest men I ever met, he was a successful and very well-to-do inventor of farm equipment back in the Midwest, once told me that while I would have to work hard all my life, I only needed to be smart for 10 seconds. As I've grown and had the experiences of an adult life, I've come to believe that this advice is true, especially so. This past year, I've had the occasion to meet with Lori Locate, who is one of the university's great donors and who donated $12.5 million for our new building. And I told him the story of the 10 seconds and asked him if he thought that notion to be true, that you really only needed to be smart in life for 10 seconds. He agreed and proceeded to tell me the exact instant, the very split second, at which he realized the idea for his lifelong and wildly successful business. As I reflect upon that advice that I received 40 plus years ago now, from my friend's father, I can verify that the turning points in my own life and those blazes of insight that brought me to my own career and personal journey. One of my favorite actors, the martial arts icon of the 1960s and 1970s, Bruce Lee, once said that to be remembered, one must first live a life worth remembering. How will you be remembered? You all have your careers and lives in front of you. I envy you the opportunities and chances you will encounter and the possibilities you will have as you traverse your life paths. I wish you well in whatever you choose to do, and certainly congratulations on completing your degrees. Now, go out, make a difference, make the world a better place, live a life worth remembering, and use your 10 seconds wisely. Congratulations. Go Ducks! It's now my pleasure to introduce Marty Krauser, who will introduce the College of Education's 2008 Outstanding Alumnus. Marty has been with the Portland Public Schools for 16 years, serving both in teaching and administrative capacities in 3 elementary schools. He has been the president of the College of Education Alumni Association for the past 2 years. Marty Krauser.
Greetings, graduates. I'm pleased to be here today and to welcome you to the ranks of more than 20,000 graduates from the College of Education. It is my hope that you will join the University of Oregon Alumni Association and become part of the college's Alumni Association so that you have the opportunity to stay professionally connected as you pursue your career. Our graduates go on to impact the lives of thousands of children and their families. Each year, the college's Alumni Association is pleased to make special recognition to individuals whose careers have made exceptional and national impact in the fields of education and human services. It is my pleasure this evening to present Dr. Judson Taylor as the 2008 Outstanding Alumnus of the University of Oregon College of Education. Dr. Taylor, will you join me? Judson Taylor's professional life as a teacher, college president, and international education consultant has reflected his collaborative focus on improving teacher education and the school experience for children. From his start as a social studies teacher in Coos Bay, Oregon, then school counselor in Hillsboro, Oregon, to his role as college president and now in retirement as an international educational consultant, Judson Taylor has focused on improving the skills of teachers and collaboration between higher education and local communities. Early in his career, he realized that diverse learners often face difficulty in school classrooms. As a professor and later as a dean of the College of Education at the California State University, Dominguez Hills, he worked in the most ethnically diverse college in the country. He created a highly successful teacher education program in collaboration with the local schools. After 22 years in California, he and his wife Elise moved to the University of Wisconsin, where he served as provost and vice chancellor for academic affairs. In 1995, he accepted a position to serve as president of the State University of New York at Cortland, New York State's largest preparer of professional educators. There, he spearheaded a program to prepare students from New York City and other urban settings to return to their home districts after graduation. Though now retired, Judson Taylor continues to serve on a variety of Fulbright assignments around the world, helping improve education in Malaysia, Russia, and Azerbaijan. Judson Taylor received his Bachelor of Arts in Education and his Master's of Education in Counseling from the University of Oregon. He received his doctorate in educational psychology from Arizona State University. This award's for you, outstanding alumni. On behalf of the University of Oregon College of Education Alumni Association, we are pleased to present you with the 2008 Outstanding Alumnus Award for your leadership in higher education and enduring commitment to ensuring educators be responsive to the needs of the society they serve. Thank you, Dr. Benson. Congratulations.
Thank you, Marty Krauser, for the generous introduction. And thanks to the College of Education Alumni Association for selecting me for this most appreciated recognition. And it's an honor and pleasure to join you, the graduates, friends and family, and faculty in this celebration of learning. And of course, a special thanks to my wife, who I met here 49 years ago. Hey, Lise. A young woman from Eugene, still together after all these years. And thanks to my friends and family, my classmates from the class of 1960 who are here with me. Well, deja vu is certainly an overused term, but it seems quite real today, returning to the campus 48 years after that warm afternoon on Hayward Field. We all graduated in the same place then, when we sat and wondered what the future would bring. Or maybe it was where we were going to dinner after the event. At any rate, 1960 was an election year, and the campus had been visited by a charismatic young senator running for president, attractive, articulate. He projected a youthful energy that gave us all a feeling that it was our time to step forward and take on the challenges of the day. He asked us to open our minds to the possibility of serving America in ways that would strengthen our country and at the same time strengthen ourselves. He stressed the need for improved relations with countries around the world, especially the neediest ones, and the role young people could play in the process. I'm sure you've all heard the most famous line of his inaugural address, do not ask what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. But he also said, our progress as a nation can be no swifter than our progress in education. The human mind is our fundamental resource. Of course, after John Kennedy became president, the Peace Corps came into being to facilitate his dream of positive relations around the world. It always gives me great pride to see the annual summary of colleges in the United States sending graduates to the Peace Corps, and our university, the University of Oregon, is always in the top 10. He also said, as we express our gratitude for what we have, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. It is gratifying to see the spirit of public service continuing to thrive here at my alma mater. It is most certainly present today. Of course, promoting international understanding is even more important today than it was in 1960. Although there are more than enough educational challenges here at home, I ask each of you to consider joining the many faculty from the University of Oregon to find a way to have some kind of an international experience during your lifetime educational career. Whether it be the Peace Corps or working in a Department of Defense school abroad, participating in a USAID program, or exchanging places with a teacher from abroad through the Fulbright program, or becoming a Fulbright teacher or scholar, and even collaborating in research and hosting educators from around the world. Such involvement will enrich your life as it has mine and my family's in unimaginable ways, and help restore faith in America as a peaceful nation willing to share its good fortune with all. Now, we can't all be Greg Mortensen, the man described in the inspirational book, 3 Cups of Tea, who gave up everything to build 50 schools, more than 50 schools, in the most remote regions of Pakistan and Afghanistan. But collectively, a small effort by all of us could make an enormous difference. As Mortensen noted, defeating terrorism in the long run will be accomplished by books, not bombs. In fact, none of the major challenges facing our world today, from terrorism to hunger to environmental degradation, can be solved without improved education at home and throughout the world. Gordon Brown, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, noted recently that 77 million children in the world have no school to go to tomorrow. He said the greatest gift the developed nations could give to the world would be to help provide a sound primary education for all children. Most certainly, if such a commitment became a reality, all of humankind would benefit and none of us would ever be out of work. Finally, I would like to say that all of us today here are fortunate to have earned our degrees from the University of Oregon. I know you will remember your years here at Oregon fondly, and I hope you'll be generous in supporting the college throughout your life. Hopefully you'll be guided by Winston Churchill's adage that we make a living out of what we get, but we make a life out of what we give. Best of luck to each of you, and thank you very much.
It's my pleasure to introduce one of my former professors and my very good friend, Dan Close.
It's my honor to announce the College of Education Faculty Awards for 2008. The College of Education has been honoring its faculty and staff for the past 3 years through a process. I was ably assisted by Rick Albin, Malika Fitch, Edward Olivos, Keith Kavach, Chrissy Hemphill, and Tiffany Yep. So we have 5 award winners today, and the 5 awards we have are in, first, the area of diversity, and the purpose of the award for diversity is to recognize one faculty member, administrator, or staff person who has provided outstanding service to the college by advancing work in the area of diversity. Our 2008 award winner is Jane Farrell from EC Cares. If Jane would please stand. Jane Farrell from EC Cares is an early intervention specialist who works with young children with developmental disabilities and their families. Ms. Farrell is a leader at EC Cares and the early childhood education community in diversity awareness and training. Jane has organized and provided training to EC Cares staff and community partners on an anti-bias curriculum for young children. In addition, she has founded and leads the EC Cares Cultural Linguistic Competency Group, which is exploring current research and developing best practices for young children from diverse backgrounds. Jane Farrell brings a lifelong passion to her work with children and families. Her commitment to equal opportunities for children and parents from diverse backgrounds is exemplary. And for this, we honor Jane Farrell with the 2008 Diversity Award. Congratulations. Our next award is for excellence in teaching. And we have 2 excellence in teaching awards. One, an early career teaching award, which is designated for a faculty member with an initial record of excellence in teaching. This award recognizes a faculty member with at least 2 years, but not more than 7 years of service to the college. The 2008 Early Teaching Award recipient is Dr. Ronald Baguetto. Dr. Ronald Baguetto comes, the comments I have now are from the award, the nomination letters that were written. And the nomination states, Dr. Ronald Baguetto comes to every class well prepared, enthusiastic, and ready to connect with students. His teaching style models best practices that we as educators should use in the field. His lessons are interactive and often include a demonstration that drives the point home. Dr. Baguetto's lively and humorous teaching style, coupled with his deep understanding of the field, continually challenges students. I recently observed Dr. Baguetto's class, Ed Studies 212. The next day, a student from his class came to me and said, "Why were you in Ed Studies 212? I mentioned that I was doing an observation, and the student said, "Well, you just tell everybody that Ron Baguetto's a rock star." For that, congratulations, Dr. Baguetto. Our next award is the Distinguished Teaching Award, which honors a faculty member who has demonstrated long-standing excellence in teaching and has taught for at least 7 years in the college. The 2008 Distinguished Teaching Award is presented to Dr. McKay Moore Solberg. And again, I'm reading from a letter of nomination. Dr. Solberg embodies excellence. She is internationally known for her pioneering work in cognitive rehabilitation, but also has the ability to effectively communicate these ideas to students. Dr. McKay exemplifies the quintessential productive professor, serving students, department, and the college in myriad ways. Dr. Solberg embraces innovative program change. She's able to work in meaningful ways with both research and dissertation and within the curriculum. The impact of Dr. Solberg's vision and dedication is that she serves as a role model. We will successfully work in the field of communication disorders and sciences as a result of her pioneering work in both research and in teaching. Congratulations, McKay Solberg. The next award is the Officer of Administration Award. The purpose of this award is to recognize one officer of administration who has demonstrated a significant contribution to the quality of services in the college. The 2008 Officer of Administration Award goes to Kelly Warren from the Family and Human Services Program. Her letter of nomination reads, Kelly has every skill and personality dimension that endears her to students, faculty, staff, and community members. To see how she represents the University of Oregon and the College of Education is simply wonderful. She has recruited students into the FHS and other College of Ed programs with simple discussions and by just being president. Kelly came to the College of Education from the private sector. What she's able to do is to communicate with every single student on a personal basis. In Kelly's relationship to the sites of the FHS program, she consistently brings the full complement of a coordinator, advisor, event facilitator, and recruiter all in one. By the way, Kelly is also the person responsible for leading the coordination of this wonderful graduation and commencement event today. Congratulations, Kelly. Our final award is the Classified Staff Award for Outstanding Service to Students. The purpose of this award is to recognize one classified staff member who has demonstrated a significant contribution to enhance student life in the college. The award winner for 2008 is Rochelle Chambers-Krotz, who unfortunately is unable to be with us today. But I will say from her letter of nomination that Rochelle is always available to students. She not only works hard to organize meetings and seminars for the middle secondary program, but she always makes herself available to members of the of the cohort, the faculty, and the community in general. Rochelle has a wonderful reputation of support and encouragement that extends beyond the graduate students for which she interacts. Thank you and congratulations to Rochelle Chambers-Kratz. And now it's my honor to introduce the student speakers for this evening. Our first student speaker is Jason Harder. Jason will be representing the undergraduate programs. Jason plans to pursue a master's degree at the University of Oregon in special education. Jason Harder.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Dean Bolus, faculty members, honored guests, friends, families, and the class of 2008. I'm honored to be here. Today, I stand before you as the product of my own perseverance, but I am also the product of dedicated family, dedicated friends, and dedicated educators. And I would like to say, what a long, strange trip it's been. 4 years ago, my amazing sister, Brooke Wagner, was honored at the State Middle School Assistant Principal of the Year. Upon receiving this honor, Brooke stated, "I'm only as good as the people I surround myself with." Brooke is now a middle school principal, and I'm standing here. I echo those words today, right here, right now. For either by good fortune or my own choices, I've been surrounded by good people and dedicated educators. When my mom and my dad were advocating for me before my 4th grade year, they ran into some difficulty. My 3rd grade teacher did not agree with the plan for Jason. The planning session with the former 3rd grade teacher, the prospective 4th grade teacher, the administrators, and my mother was at a standstill. At that point, the prospective 4th grade teacher loudly proclaimed, "I will have Jason in my classroom, and I will teach him to read at grade level." I thank you, Phyllis Botteroff, for being a dedicated educator. That kind of support and caring continued through my middle school and high school years. It allowed me to persevere and never lose hope. I also was helped along the way by many fine teachers at Lane Community College, and then I arrived here at the University of Oregon. Enrolling here and being accepted into the FHS program was an act of faith. Faith that I would be educated and faith that I would learn. That faith has been rewarded. Each one of the professors has been dedicated to our success. They have asked much and given more. They have sharpened our vision, they challenged us, and they gave us tools to succeed. And they educated us. We chose to surround ourselves with good people, Dr. Close and the Golden Triangle. We won't forget it, Dr. Close. I will always have room to learn, and for that, that's a good thing, for in 1 week, I go to graduate school. It has taken me 19 years to arrive at this day, and I never lost sight of the goal. I think of the obstacles all of us have overcome to be here. Perseverance and education go hand in hand. My parents encouraged me never to give up, to keep the faith, and to keep my eyes on the goal. Without that, I may not be standing here today. Thank you to them. To all of you, remember, teach your children well. Every day I come to this campus is a day of complete joy. So many people have helped me along the way, and for that, I'm eternally grateful. I'm proud of who I am and where I come from. My experience here at the University of Oregon has been outstanding, and today I feel like the luckiest man alive. Being an educator is a privilege and an honor. We will have the opportunity to make a difference. It is a huge responsibility, and we are prepared for it. I challenge all of us to follow our hearts and go out in the world and dedicate ourselves to being the people that strive to do the right thing. I am so glad that each of you gets to experience this day with family, friends. We deserve it. This is our shining moment. According to Christopher Robin, you must remember this. You're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Spread the word, keep the faith, and remember, go Ducks!
Representing the graduate students is Rohana Buchanan. Rohana is graduating with a PhD in school psychology. She aspires to become a research scientist, specifically in prevention research and school-based intervention research for middle school and high school students. Ms. Buchanan.
Good evening. When I was first asked to speak at commencement today, the first thing I thought was, that's terrifying, no way. I've earned a degree in school psychology, not public speaking after all. And then, over the next several days, I received so many offers of support and encouragement and offers of collaboration that I changed my mind. In particular, the graduating members of my cohort told me that it would be a fun group project and that each would contribute. The support from our cohort, our program faculty, our administrative staff, my friends, and my family was welcome, and it came as no surprise, for this has been the context of my graduate school experience. One of the first things that I learned when I started graduate school 5 years ago was that the field of education has so much breadth and depth that no one person can be an expert in everything. In my cohort, we have 3 big areas of education covered. We have academics, we have behavior, and then we have social emotional learning. As we progress through our courses and our practica, we work together to capitalize on each other's strengths and each other's expertise. I understand the importance of reading. I have read much of the salient research related to reading instruction, and I've even been trained in effective reading intervention practices. This is not my area of passion. I have chosen to work with youth who lack the effective social skills to be successful in mainstream educational settings. Naturally, I understand that students who experience anxiety or depression, exhibit hyperactive behavior, and may even throw a chair or two, probably have a need for some reading instruction and interventions as well. Fortunately, I know that I can contact my colleague, John Potter, for some advice and support on a reading intervention, just as I can contact my colleagues, Amy Kaufman-Campbell and Sarah Fairbanks, for assistance with a behavior support plan. Looking back, I can see that in our first year, none of us knew what we were doing, and none of us knew what to expect. We survived by leaning on each other and providing each other with support. I am confident that each of us graduating today can think of at least one person in this room without whom this day would not be possible. Fellow students, professors, academic secretaries, friends, parents, partners, and perhaps someone who's no longer with us. If this was the Academy Awards, and I was listing all of the people who have made this day possible for me, the music would start, would already be started, and there'd be a tall blonde woman here ushering me off the stage. So let it suffice to say, you know who you are, and I thank you. As we leave here today, consider our responsibilities. We each have expertise and strengths to contribute and can rely on our colleagues to provide support when we need it. There is a Japanese proverb that states, "None of us are as smart as all of us." Consider these words in your career endeavors. We are the educators of future generations. Let us work together. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce our Associate Dean, the Dean Knight Professor of Education, Dr. Edward Kameanui. Ed.
Thank you, Mike. Good evening. According to U.S. presidential folklore, Harry S. Truman had accepted the vice presidency with extreme reluctance. On April 12, 1945, he was summoned to the White House. There he was shown into Eleanor Roosevelt's sitting room, where she told him ever so gently that President Roosevelt was dead. After a moment's stunned silence, Truman asked her, "Is there anything I can do for you?" She shook her head and replied, "Is there anything we can do for you? After all, you're the one in trouble now." So on behalf of the College of Education, its singularly humble and highly productive staff and faculty scholars, and on behalf of our newly appointed Dean, Dr. Michael Bullis, it is my singular duty as Associate Dean to ask you a final question. Is there anything more that we can do for you? Hearing no appeals or entreaties of panic or dubitation, it is my pleasure to introduce the faculty representatives for each of the 4 departments who will read the names of the 2008 University of Oregon College of Education graduates. They are Dr. Kevin Altucker, for the Department of Counseling, Psychology, and Family and Human Services. Dr. Cynthia Herr, for the Department of Special Education and Clinical Sciences. Dr. Joanna Good, for the Department of Teacher Education, and Dr. Keith Savage for the Department of Educational Leadership. Now, just by way of directions and management, a professional photographer is taking pictures of our accomplished graduates as they receive their diplomas today. We ask that proud family members wishing to take photos, please respect the sight line of others in the audience, and also keep the pathway clear for the graduates to return to their seats. Thank you very much.
Now introducing doctoral degree in counseling psychology. Mirsad Sidarovich. Now introducing master's degree in counseling, family, and human services. Jessica Peary. Cassandra Kinney. Margaret J. Beatty. Michael James Maselli. David Ball. Autumn Benton. Kevin Kabedi Berhanu. Marcus Farley. Alicia Halani. Deepa Bharadwaj. Lara Elizabeth Barnes. Chelsea Easton Brandenburg. Camilla Kloster Niermauen. Kathy Denton. Marie Yoshida. Amy Catherine Quast. Rochelle Townsend. Allison Lufkin. Jason Tilges. April Sakel. Now introducing baccalaureate degree in Family and Human Services, Eli Ettinger. Laura Maracle. Josh Thomas Dotson. Jason Harder. Alexandra Jacqueline Henderson. Jennifer White. Shauna Dulali Eddy. Sally Hessimer. Robin Audrey McConaughey. Kristen Ann Alice Michael. Anne Marie Riley. Amanda Meg Skipper. Ashley Brooke Vertishka. Megan Ann Sweeney. Jody Ann Parmer. Brian Pasinger. Kendra Gray Abraham. Lindsay Renee Thompson. Rhea Samantha Minner. Nora Jean Alwitade. Doreen Leslie Mangan. Shannon Rochelle Jones Jansen. Christy Marie Bailey. Kathleen Margaret Moxley. Joanna Lee Vervoon. Deborah Blair Cowden. Lupita Pena. Tommy Selling. Natalie Brooke Olson. Joseph Scott McDonald. Kyle Richard Hartzell. Megan Wells. Tamara Jane Bambino. Rachel Kavinsky. Rhea Lynn Kramer. Margaret Perkey. Sarah Elizabeth Purvis. Sonu Allen. Erin Danielle McCormick. Jamie Ann Joshua. Opie James Friedel. Sabrina Keene. Ariam Fasaha. Amuri Tashina Downing. Kari Marguerite Herrinks. Christine Stina Victoria Garver. Mary Louise Wagner. Melissa Marie Rausch. Michael Allen Taylor. Dina Alita Courier. Alicia Christine Rambo. Kate Marie Rozzi. Megan Elizabeth Neely. Patrick Andrew Weirhane. Chelsea Clayton. Emma Jessup Goulart. Shayla Catherine Turner. Jennifer Jewel Barrett. Heather Michelle Hermanson.
Now announcing the doctoral degree in Communication Disorders and Sciences. Rick Lemoncello. Thank you. Now introducing Master's degree in Communication Disorders and Sciences. Malia Jean Bafaro. Marianne Emily Satterberg. Chelsea Renee Hawk. Lindsay Catherine Couch. Amber Danielle Planty. Heather Dawn Williams. Dean Vanderbush. Anthony Michael Thompson. Mark Paul Detweiler. Elizabeth Marie Love. Lisa Ellen Tolanen. Catherine Marie Joyce. Lori Ann Davis. Now introducing baccalaureate degree in Communication Disorders and Sciences. Jenna Rochelle Gamble. Charlie Lynn Amon. Ada Kelly Gassemi. Elizabeth May Hostler. Meredith Lauren Bedrick. Russell Daniel Walker. Haley Nicole Parker. Carly Dellard. Donna Robles. Lindsay Lee Zeller. Alicia Siri Uteg. Terry Lynn Wyatt. Sharon Teresa Dunham. Brooke Ashley Rawson. Danelle Martha Garceau. Brisa Paulina Velasquez. Rachel N. Henderson. Marissa Renee Boyson. Rachel Renee Canty. Chriselle Marie Masaccio. Now introducing doctoral degree in special education, Charlotte Yvonne Alverson. Now introducing master's degree in special education, Suzanne Foster. Joy Shane. Angela Huffstickler. Venus Alice Reeve. Justin Radabaugh. Heather Home. John Lind. Martin John McDowell. Devin Colleen Hillman. Anders Pedersen. Joanne Nicole Gerard Kersey. Holly Michelle Humphrey. Adrian Ashley Wilson. Now introducing master's degree in early intervention, Divya Basine. Now introducing doctoral degree in school psychology, Jonathan Potter. Rohana Buchanan. Louise Brona. Now introducing master's degree in school psychology, Sarah Ann Fairbanks. Thank you. Now introducing certification in middle secondary teaching. I don't think this is supposed to be me.
Huang Shum Zhenzhen. Now introducing master's degree in teaching and learning middle secondary, Christina Sif. Jennifer Sirotek. Okay. Matthew Johnson. Robin Erickson. Cecilia Tomkle. Ashley Nicole Lane. Carrie Brumbach. Now introducing master's degree in teaching and learning, graduate elementary teaching, Ashley Furlong. Annie Morris. Chin-Hung Mark Chang. Lindsay Nicole Marchant. Lisa Marie Robbins. Jenna Michelle Weaver. Danielle Nicole Wright. Steve Poisat Newcomb. Alan Cook. Ashley McKean. Carrie East. Manuel Placencia. Adam Fine. Aaron Keogh. Sharina Holloway. Gabriel Hine. Johnny Matthews. Nicole Smith. Brittany Enbisk. Kimberly Kelsey. Erica Workman. Krista Jo Bond. Andrew Christopher Potter. Now introducing master's degree in teaching and learning, integrated teaching, Ariel Caroline Ulmer. Courtney Wickham. Caitlin Yvonne Hagland. Rachel Lauren Ernstrom. Sondra Lanier Knopf. Lillian Marie Halpern. Kayla Christine Harvey. Keely Megan Ryan. Jennifer Sarah Shand. Nicole Elizabeth Campbell. Alexandra Marie Barth. Stephanie Ann Alleman. Candace Michelle Fiola. Laurel Lynn Booth. Stephanie Ann Hansen. Laura Noelle Marshall. Sunshine Bachman Anstein. Grace Robin Golden. Sarah Ann Thompson. Carlise Tavernier. Tara Marie Gundelock. Michelle Lynn O'Brien. Kristen Elizabeth Syme. Natalie Andrikopoulos Johnson. Kristen Milleen Doby. Holly Marie Sullivan. Casey Marie Ojeda. Angela Louise Hoagland. Kaylee Lynn Harlicker. Bryn de Blasio. Megan Maureen Laney. Colin Ross Colbreth. Now introducing baccalaureate degree in integrating teaching, Emily Pauline Miller. Brianna Kaylee Spratt. Janelle Lindsay Mack. Megan Elizabeth Von Holchem. Veronica Lene Ball. Amber Renee Verkler. Karen Michelle Blakely. Melissa Ibarra. Megan Ashley Thornburg. James Warren Connolly. Amy Elizabeth Petty. Christina Sitton DeMeo. Jin Kyung Ko. Tina Darlene McClellan. Anne Catherine Wilson. Tiffany Lee Spear. Caitlin Sarah Sutton. Julie Elizabeth Thompson. Sarah Evelyn Schetzel. Christine Rose Johnson. Kayla Marie Robertson. Carly Hope Wall. Vanessa Alexis Rowell. Callie Eden Landis. Georgia Ann Mitashev. Rebecca Elise Lavezzo Sullivan. Jess V. Rivas. Janine Nicole Van Sice. Lindsay Michelle Somerton. Now introducing baccalaureate degree in educational foundations. Carol Madeline Brown. Brianna Malia Hutchinson. Rachel J. Falconer. Brittany Ann Jackson. Erin Jean McAllister. Sarah Ann Greenberger. Hillary Megan Gentz. Alyssa Gerg. Anna Christina Kornick. Kelly Kristen Burr. Ashley Marie Brittenbeck. Cadence Anil Griffith. Jean Tang. Tara Lorraine Wallace. Jessica Iris Williams. Isaac A. Carlson. Jessica Ann Barron. Danny Van Voris. Vanessa Adrian Leach. Sarah Ann Tomlanovic. Emily Ann Collins. Yu Jin Chun. Jennifer Lee. Carrie Irene Banducci. Tracy Lynn Reed. Jenny Marie Anderson. Michael Principe. Nicole Marie Hampton. Stacy Lee Miller. Brianna Nicolette Bertois Hernandez. Jenna Marie Siebenlist. Lindsay Christine Adair. Karen Michelle Perrant. Haley Patricia Dulong. Kimberly Marie Hodges. Jessica Jolynn Fitzpatrick. Amanda Dawn Maxwell. Megan Amber Wright. Laura Michelle Johnson. Jennifer Lynn Wickersham. Susanna Kim Barnes. Michael Angelo Bova. Jessica Marie Jennis. Amberly Michelle Rogers. Jennifer Ashley Fryback. Amanda Roseanne Russell. Sarah Rogers Ott. Emily Kemple. Barbara Susanna Sherfy. Avery Lee Fish. Anne Elizabeth Patzel. Tessa Marie Lynch. Yuji Taco. Mackenzie Christine Scheller. Meredith Ann Sprague. Lori Ann Bianche. Brianna Nicole Jones. Stacy Lynn Roybal. Danielle Sfozel. Seth LeVar May. Brittany Nicole Mills. Brittany Lynn Crouch. Gabrielle Mary Wright. Caitlin May Langley. Jacqueline Estelle Smetana. Tilsa Marie Amundsen.
Now introducing doctoral degree in educational leadership. Tomas Joaquin Hulik Baeza. Sean David. Sermsup Mai Vora Panayana. Lori Ray Smith. Janelle Brown Montagon. Brian David Gander. Consuelo Yvonne Curtis. Now introducing Master's Degree in Educational Leadership. Brad Holcomb. Jenny Ann Lecomte. Yi Ning Christine Chen. Pamela Hernandez. Valerie Dawn Lawson. Kelly Zimmer. Christopher Zimmer.
There's a couple of unfinished. Is that on? It's not on? No, it's on. Okay. There's a couple of unfinished bits of business. Several of you asked about the tradition of the regalia. It actually stems back from medieval times. Another tradition is that undergraduates whose tassels are on the right may now move them to the left. And there's one acknowledgement that the evening would not be complete without making, and that is the hard work that Kelly Warren put on this event. Kelly, where are you? We're at the end of the school year. Many of you will come back this summer. Many of you will come back in the fall. August 30th, our boys strap it on against the University of Washington. These guys go back on contract September 15th. We want you all to have a great summer and a great evening. Thank you all for attending. We'd like to ask that you allow the graduates to please clear the arena, and we welcome all guests to meet their graduates across the street at the EMU South Lawn for photo opportunities. Way to go, class of '08. Congratulations. We got the timing a little off, isn't it?